does it in the early game, Aiming's able to carry it through in the later stages of the game. Whether that's going to happen today is something that we're going to find out right now, because I'm looking for Aiming. I can't find him. We got new members to introduce here on the side of the Afrika Freaks. Sun is joining the roster. Soul is joining the roster, formerly of Kongdu Monster fame, and Senin as well towards the bottom side of the map.
Well, from an outsider's perspective looking in, something must be going on internally that is causing this to occur. And then when you look at the veteran coaching staff, you have to wonder, well, what could really be happening?
Don't have a heart attack yet, because it's not going to be picked.
It's not going to be locked in.
Ezreal is available. Don't worry, we're okay. Normalcy has hit the rift here as Sangyun going to... That's what I'm talking about. Lock it in. There we go.
Blocking the Kalista. Kalista going to be very good against the Jinzhao and the Scion. That does mean that the Vladimir will move top lane, most likely with Kleptomancy. Yeah, so that he's going to be able to accelerate so quickly. Now, the one edge that Hanwha Life Esports is going to be able to find is the Zoe in the mid lane against the Lissandra.
If they can kite back and take control. A lot of things to talk about here for both of these teams. Let's hear from the fans. Here we go, available. He will see Bono as he gets on over there, as Sun makes his way in. Tempt gets frozen, tombed, and Dread just flashing on in, lands the Q, and secures the first blood. Bono gets on in there. Key's going to get first rotation, but Soul out of nowhere, and he doesn't have ultimate. Make sure you keep that in mind here, as Key does get the Devour, but the damage is done, and Afrika get first blood.
And Afrika pick up a really key first blood.
It means that Kiin will be doing very close to true damage now with Soul Boots completed. In goes Bono. Oh my god, the three-man taunt from Senin, as Soul's able to get lots of sticks in there, but it's not quite enough to lock down any kills. Sun will turn up in time as the claw comes forward. Does have flash available, but holds on to it because he don't need it. Afrika Freaks their second kill, and it looks real clean yet again.
Man, Bono ends up going
so
down,
much.
But Zoe
has
has
a flash. Exactly right. Tempt does hijack himself a flash right now. We know that Zoe's are super good at being able to get things like this done, but the taunt is used point blank there from Senin and avoids any extra damage from Tempt. And this does mean that the Dragon Priest, they get a lot of Baron control, because Kalista is, of course, on the team. As Bono looking to come in, but Kiin hiding behind the wall. The kickback does land. That's a phenomenal Devour coming in from Key, as Dread does secure the Rift Herald, and they lose the Tahm Kench. There are kills going everywhere. A double for Vladimir. And Kiin, one of the remaining members that has not been swapped once on this squad, demonstrating exactly why. Cooldown reduction from the Fetish Codex and the damage from the Sork Boots that you can get yourself there. With those runes, it's okay. A lot of damage coming down as Kiin. Key going to be the focus. Soul, just delivery of the Gargoyle. And that's all too easy. Tempt lands a lot of damage, but it's just not enough. And look, if you think about it, that's exactly what we were talking about. In a different game state, Soul was dead right there, and Hanwha can go back in. Sangyun over to the side as Sun, trying to get out, has already flashed, and that is a kill secured there by the Ezreal. And this is what Hanwha fans need to happen this game.
And right now, after this...
that sort of bubble location as well, because getting it over that terrain is something that we see Zoe's do all the time. As Senin, True Shot Barrage is going to come in, actually trying to turn that one around as Tempt gets on in there. The last auto attack is going to be enough to do it. You've got a teleport coming in from Thal on the Scion, very close to getting his ultimate back up again, but Soul is free hitting in the backline. It's the Rend that locks him down. The train just goes straight past, but is able to knock down Dread. We still do have a Kalista up here, but that Infernal that you're talking about has also just respawned. Senate Hero's Entrance is going to be available. He can get back in sooner than you'd expect.
And now, the Infernal, I think it's just going to be given over for free, and so this is a massive victory for Hanwha Life.
Oh, and Kiin,
yeah, he's coming in. Oh, he's going to be able to get Bono. Yeah, he stays within.
I wasn't ready to believe. Thal makes his way up. There's just no vision available anymore for the Afrika Freaks. And okay, in he goes. Sun trying to make things happen. Devour comes in. The knockup is good though, as he's going to go Devoured. Okay, really nice pull back there from Soul. with the Fate's Call, and now
Vladimir.
you mentioned, can he kill the Ezreal? The answer is yes, and he'll take a Xin Zhao with it.
And that's going to be Afrika potentially, surely now, going to be managing to get themselves the Mountain Drake.
Wow, we went from, like, the king of ocean drakes in our previous series to about as many cool drakes as you can possibly find. Next
really, but taking a look at this team fight, just watch Vladimir. Initially, he's doing so much help with taking down Bono, and then right there flashes over and says, hey, I'm going for Ezreal, manages to get it as Zoe just has to watch on.
And the bubble just surfs over the top of him there as well, so not going to be able to find anything. He needs to be throwing out as many of them as possible. Alright, Kiin looking to make his way over. Sun once again getting himself into a decent position, flashing on forward. Key has to use the grey health as Kiin is on top of the Ezreal and the Tahm Kenshin. I think there was a catfish there, but he just exploded.
This is going to mean that Afrika are going to be the ones that can pick up the Infernal. Not the best of engage. You definitely can imagine that Lissandra was hoping to do a little bit more with that, but nonetheless, they've
had have been able to get all 4 of the Drakes so far this game, we would have been talking about things like scaling in their favor.
And it would be all but over at this point. I mean, take a look at what's going on right here. Tahm Kench ends up trying to save his ADC, managed to do so in the end, but at the cost of his own life.
So that flank is still something that they have to respect. You can see already Hanwha are moving over towards this Baron pit, but they are going to bait it. Oh no, held on to. Okay, we're going to start this one off. It's immediately seen, and look at how much damage this is taking right now. Claw going to come in as Sun gets his way into the pit. Can we get there? It is going to be stolen! Somehow Dread makes his way into the Baron pit. Sun is most likely going to fall, but it's going to need a flash from Thal to get out of there as Sol. Able to jump around this fight still, as Thal will be zombie mode in the back end very soon. The Rend does come forward, and Kiin finally makes his way towards the fight.
Vladimir!
Did you miss me? Quadra kill for the Nosferatu man.
Yeah, he's looking for the Penta. Don't think Thal is going to give it to him, but what should have been a Baron for free for Hanwha Life, that teleport for Vladimir was too late to get to the Baron, and then Dread with the fantastic steal.
Dread came from so far away. Oh my god. I wasn't expecting Dread to be able to actually get in there and steal it. When it was his name that came up on the Baron, I was like, well, how was he even in the pit? This is ridiculous, but Safeguard, of course, pretty damn good at closing distance and must have landed the Q that they needed. Insult and injury have been friends this week, as this Infernal Drake is going to mean they meet again.
I want to take a look at this. Kalista has 333 AD.
Alright, you gotta steady on. Steady on.
The balancing act right now, though, is can they hold off for a minute and a half? Because
I'm gonna let that one go for reasons I'm not gonna discuss right now. As Kiin might actually be caught out here. The Hemo Plague does go down, but look at how fast he goes. What the heck was that? Spellbinder as well as the Phase Rush, and he's booking it. He's gonna be able to use his dash cannon, get out of the way to the side, but that's a lot of buttons now that he doesn't have. Can still go golden, but Spellbinder being on cooldown and needing to recharge is certainly something that Hanwha Life can now play around. Interesting that that's what we're talking about as the big takeaway, as Kiin has both of his summoner spells and Zhonya's still available.
Now the Baron.
Another high value true barrage.
It is started. I talked about this last time. When you're the smart team composition, you want the Elder, because even if the enemy has
wait
Baron...
for this. Sun's going to be able to claw his way in. Hero's entrance is going to be available as well. Can we actually start the fight? Hero's entrance, good double knock-up, but not a lot of follow-up. In comes Kiin. Does have flash, like we were talking about. Kiin blast codes his way back into the pit, and this could be just the eradication of Hanwha Life. Sangyun over to the side. He's looking to try and take down Dread, but Dread ain't doing it. It's the flash forward from the Vlad. Thal against the world, but the world's gonna beat you this time because the world has that huge Hemomancer on the top side.
He's running away. He wants to be somewhere else right now.
Yeah, he wants to get to the death chamber as quickly as possible. It's like zombie mode. No, I don't want this. I don't want this. Not like this.
Well, that is going to be the Nexus turrets falling.
And what is going to be the analysis from this game as well? Because the Afrika Freaks, they came out, they had their old roster, they had UCAL, they had aiming down towards the bottom side, they had a great performance against Sandbox Gaming, came up with a 2-1 victory after so many losses in a row. And now, they've taken out Humble Life Esports behind this gentleman right here. But I want to talk about what the new additions to this squad have actually brought. So, demonstrated that he's still pretty busted on Callista, still a very good Callista player. And Sun has done what UCAL hasn't been able to do all season, and it's play with reckless confidence and engage potential on this Lissandra. Because honestly, it felt like a game of volleyball between Sun and Kiin. Sun had just set them all up, and Kiin would smack him down.